Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just gonna give people a few minutes to hop on here, guys. Oh, almost went down the wrong hatch. Woo! What's up, Natalie Morton? I see Rhea back on board. How we doing? You gotta move to Florida. I know, right? I'm over West Coast, so it's only 9:45. You guys almost 1 in the morning watching this thing? Thank you. Well, I appreciate that. What's up, Natalie? How's it going? If you are new to the Periscope, first time watching me, drop a comment below, say new, where you're watching from, and put your name at the end so I know who I'm talking to. What's up, Jessica8314? How are y'all doing tonight? Everyone's all good and dandy, I hope. I see Miss Lisa on board. We got Peaks Media, Cowboy, Natalie Morton, and Rhea. New from Canada, Kathy. Welcome, Kathy. We got Tennessee on board. Welcome, welcome. One more sip of water. Just an FYI, if you don't like real talk, you might want to get out of the chat because it's about to go down. Alright, so my name is Charles Leslie, Coach Chaz Fitness, as I'm known in the fitness industry. I'm a full-time fitness and lifestyle coach. Music is way too loud. Been waiting all day for this one. I'm tired, so hopefully it turns out how I hope it does. So, fitness and lifestyle coach. Been doing that gig for about 6 years. Sounds all fancy, right? I'm a normal dude that went through shit to get to where I'm at. That's why I'm up here on Periscope, sharing my story, sharing tips, advice, hopefully somebody takes something out of it. Also a part-time massage therapist, and I'm up here on Periscope 2 to 3 times a day, sharing business tips, health, fitness, nutrition, mindset, all that kind of stuff. So, diving straight into this, guys, we're starting with 8 people. I don't care. I don't know if this is going to go on for 5 minutes. I don't know if it's going to go on for an hour. I'm just going to get everything out of my head. So, the topic today is sacrifice. And sacrifice is a topic that a lot of people don't touch base on. It's easy in business, in weight loss success, whatever type of success you look at. We always look at the people at the top, right? And we always think, wow, good for them. Why not me? Why am I not up there? I've been in this, let's say, I'm going to bring up the Beachbody business because that's what I do full time, is the Beachbody gig. So I'm going to share a lot about that. So if you're a Beachbody coach, listen up, put your blinders on, listen to this. So it's easy for us to look at the top 10 coaches, the people with perfect bodies who lost 50 pounds, 100 pounds, whatever. It's easy to look at them and think, good for them. What am I doing wrong that I'm not there? The only difference between us and them is they made more sacrifices. And it's a part of the journey I feel no one talks about. A lot of people think that you can sign up with a health and fitness program or a business opportunity. Beachbody pairs those two together, so it's like the perfect business model. So I'll bring that up a lot. So it's easy to get plugged in with everything. And then, ooh-wee, day one's here. Let's start. I wish I would have been told in the beginning, when I first started, you are going to have to make sacrifices. And back then, 6 years ago, I would have no idea what that even meant. Sacrifices, like, oh yeah, you mean I have to stay up late? No. I wish somebody would have told me that I could not rely on my feelings anymore. I think that's one thing. I just came off of another Periscope. Maybe you guys are here from there. And I talked about motivation versus commitment, right? Relying on motivation, temporary external things that get our heads heightened up. And we feel motivated to do something, but then the next day we don't feel like doing it. That's relying on your emotions. And that's something you need to knock off. In whatever journey you are on right now, Look at the end result that you want, because it's pointless to be on a journey without having goals, right? Look at those goals, and you have to make the decision right now that you are no longer, from this day forward, going to rely on your emotions to get there. Because your emotions are only going to play with you. It is a mind fuck. Your emotions are what are holding you back. So when you learn to stop relying on them, you have breakthroughs. You get out of your comfort zone. And we all know that outside of your comfort zone is where growth happens. That's where success happens. It's almost like your feelings and emotions are keeping you within that comfort zone. So for those of you that are still stuck relying on your emotions and how you feel, you are always going to remain in that bubble. Stop relying on how you feel. Because I can't tell you in my 6 years of doing coaching how many people I get messages from. Yeah, I want to work out early, but I don't feel like getting up when the alarm goes off. Yeah, neither do I. I got my ass up at 5:30 this morning. What were you doing at 5:30? Because I already did more than you by the time it was 8 o'clock. Nobody feels like it. But you have to show up and do it anyways, because you are not relying on how you feel. If you rely on how you feel, you're going to sleep in. You're going to go to bed. Even if you have a giant to-do list that you did not complete that day, you're going to go to bed because you feel tired. Well, I'm going to be the first one to break open and crack open the ice and say, good luck. You're not going to make it. I do not like telling people they're not going to succeed with something, because I 100% believe in everyone having the potential. But you need more than potential. Potential is shit. That's what I'm learning. Potential is nothing. It's the action that's behind it. And with action, you learn to make sacrifices. So, bring you on a little journey, if we will. So, we've had a hectic summer. Summertime, I mean, most people are busy in the summer. We all have camping trips and family outings and dinners and birthdays and all this kind of stuff, right? We're all busy. So we have a 7-month-old baby boy. He's our firstborn, our only son. Love that kid to death, obviously. And I have a wife. Love her to death. I love my family time. I came from being 50 pounds overweight, eating literally fast food 6 days a week, and working for a job 50 hours a week that I hated. And at this job, because I did massage therapy full-time at a big spa, they were booked solid on weekends and summers. Great for my schedule, right? I had to miss out on family trips. I had to miss out on camping, beach trips, family dinners. I had to miss out on all of this stuff because I was working. Just to make a paycheck that it was spent the day I got deposited in my bank. It was already spent on bills, and then I was left over with nothing, right? Have to beg, borrow, and steal and to get by. I came from that. I know how much it sucks. That's what drove me in the beginning to build the Beachbody business, to get to the point where I fired those guys 2 years ago. I now work right here in my home. This is my personal desk I do my Beachbody business on, and you guys are sitting on my massage table I work on clients on. So I came from that, right? So you guys, I'm sharing that backstory real quick to share with you how important time freedom is to me. Being able to spend time with my family, being able to do the things that I never could do. Being able to do the things that I never did with my parents because maybe they weren't as great as they could have been on some levels. I get to do things now that I never did growing up. I get to travel. I get to spend time with my family on the weekends. I spent 4 years at that job, never having weekends off. And for me to wake up on a Saturday morning and just see both my babies right there, that's priceless to me. So that's the importance of it. That's what drove me to bust my ass in the beginning, to build the business, to lose 50 pounds, to get to where I'm at now. So the sacrifices back then, they were a little bit, not simpler, but they were different. So the sacrifices back then, and maybe you're stuck in that position where you work full time, maybe you have a really big family that you're extremely busy with, and you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to build a business, earn a degree, go to school, whatever. This can apply to a lot of things. So back then, my sacrifices were, I had to work full time. So I would show up to this spa and I would do 6, sometimes 7 massages in a day, which they're an hour long, and it exhausts me. I had back pain like none other, all that kind of stuff that goes with it. So I had to wake my ass up early, early enough to get to work by 7 to prep for my day. So I'd be at work from about 7, sometimes till 5 or 6, and then I would go home. And I would love to sit on my ass after that. But no. I started this Beachbody business then. I was trying to figure out how the heck to make this thing work. And I was trying to lose weight at the same time because I was overweight and I was just unhappy with my body and how I looked in the mirror and how I felt on the inside. So the sacrifices back then were, when I got home, I had to, obviously we didn't have a little man then, but I had to talk to my new wife. We've only been married for 4 years. So I had to talk to my new wife and let her know, when I get off work, I need an hour. I need an hour to do my workout and to check in with my clients. I was trying to get in on this Beachbody business, right? So I had to make that agreement with her. I would love to sit down and watch movies with you, but I need an hour. Are you on board with me? Can you give me this time that I'm going to invest in this thing that's going to help build our freedom later? So that was one of my sacrifices, was away from I spent all day at work. I wanted to see my wife and hang out with her. She's my best friend. I wanted nothing more than just spend time with her. But I couldn't. That was one of my sacrifices I had to make, was my own health and fitness had to be a priority. And I'm not saying that it needs to be a priority over your family, but there's certain sacrifices that you're going to have to make. And that might be one of them for you. If you are extremely busy, the sacrifice for you might be sitting your family down and having that same conversation I had to have. I'm not happy with how I feel or how I look. I need to get in better shape. I need to improve my health. Can you guys give me 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, after work, before work, at night, whatever? Can you give me this time to work on myself so that I can be a better husband, father, mother, wife to you, to your family? Because by you becoming a better version of yourself, you give more and better quality time to everyone else. You do better at work, your relationships improve, your finances come up, all of a sudden all this crazy stuff happens, right? So that was part of the sacrifice back then. So I spent that hour after work doing my workout, all this kind of stuff. Sacrifice is temporary, change is forever. Rhea nailed it on that one. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. So that was one of my sacrifices. I needed my hour to focus on me and to put just like 15 minutes into my business, which my business at the time was, what the heck am I doing, right? We all sign up into a business model, and I was signed up with Beachbody in the beginning. I'm like, what the heck, how do I build this thing? So I was doing training videos and learning as much as I could back then. And then once that happened, so I spent my hour, and then I got to spend time with my wife. And then when she went to bed at like 10 or 11 o'clock, I put in another hour. I was up till midnight, sometimes 1 in the morning most nights in the beginning, because I needed that time to really focus and hone in on the business. So I was doing more trainings, and I was reaching out and inviting people to join me. I was trying to gain clients and customers and build my coaching team and all this kind of stuff that goes along with our business. That was the only time I could make happen. I could easily just go to bed at 10 o'clock with my wife and say, I don't have time to build a business. I don't have time to work out and do this stuff. That was one of the sacrifices I made. So back then it was a lot of time sacrifices. And it's going to be the same way with you. Whatever you're trying to chase, whatever dream, whatever goal, it's going to take sacrifice. Whatever that sacrifice may be in your world. So that's kind of the backstory, right? Moving forward, we've had a crazy summer. We've had all kinds of different trips, all kinds of whatnots. I was in Nashville for a week, came home, we did Spartan Race. And so leading into Spartan Race, which is what the hat is right here. Any racers in here? So Spartan Race was Saturday. Awesome event, awesome time. Get into the car, drive for a few hours back home. Get home. Tristan, my wife, has to come upstairs, shower. We have to, little man was over at my mother-in-law's house. So over at her parents' house. So this is 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. We drive over, and I drop her off. We walk in, and I have to kiss my baby boy goodbye. I have to kiss my wife goodbye. Because they had a giant, we're up in Oregon, right? So they had a 14-hour drive to go over to Idaho to go on a family camping trip to see her grandma, which we haven't seen in a couple years. To see family that I would love to be with. I would love to spend time with them, especially because it's the first time they get to see our little boy Titus. It's the first time they get to meet him. That's a really powerful moment, right? So, walk in, I hang out with those guys for a little bit. I snuggle up with my little man for last time. And I have to kiss them both goodbye, and I have to get in my car and come back home, where I'm at now. And I've had a lot of people that they just don't understand, a lot of, especially family. Why aren't you coming with us? You don't have a boss, you don't have a job to go to. Why don't you just stop for a week and just come out and camp? There's barely any cell phone reception, zero internet, which obviously I built an internet-based company. So there's a lot of people giving me shit. A lot of people that don't understand. No, I don't have a boss. I don't have a real job to go to, right? Sure, I can hit pause. I can take a week off. But here's the thing. I made a full commitment. And again, I had to sit Trista down. I would sit Titus down if he can understand what I was talking about, but he's 7 months old. I had to sit Trista down again and have kind of similar conversation. Okay, listen, here's the goal. My business is on an upswing, because we all have peaks and valleys, right? Business, weight loss, all of them have peaks and valleys. I'm on a peak. You gotta strike when the iron's hot. So I had to sit down with her and tell her the same thing that I told her back then when I was trying to lose weight in the beginning. Here's my goal. Here's what's happening. I need this time to focus. The fact that we have a 7-month-old, we love them to death, but they are work. Those guys alone are sacrifices, right? Babies. The idea of being home alone for a week, I wasn't thinking about being away from my family. I wasn't thinking about anything except for imagine the impact I can make if I had a solid week of full night sleeps, because you don't get that with a baby. If I had a full week of no obligations except for my business. Imagine the impact I can make in the future based on this 1 week I put into it. That's a conversation I had to have with her. So that was Saturday. She leaves. It was a pretty hard departure because I was away from both of them again not too long ago. I was in Nashville about a month ago. I was away from them again for a week. I do not like being away from my family, especially with a new baby. And so today's Tuesday. So I went all day Sunday. Again, remember, there's no cell phone reception up there. Went all day Sunday. I took completely off because I was beat down from Spartan race, right? I did fine on Sunday. Monday morning rolls around. Monday mornings are my mornings I take off every single week, and I get to spend with my little boy. So when Monday morning rolled around, I roll out of bed and I realize, it's really freaking quiet around here. I do not like this. And then after a few hours, it kind of settles in and it's messing with my mindset. But I'm trying not to get down about it. Of course, I miss my family like crazy, but I had to keep reminding myself. We preach the sacrifice all the time. This is a real life experience of what the sacrifice feels like. It's fucking painful. Sacrifice is painful. And if you think you're making sacrifices that are not, I ask you if they really are a sacrifice. Because a sacrifice means you're giving something up that's important to you to try to build something else. But remember, and this is why I had to tell myself Monday morning when I was getting down and depressed about it, this is a short-term investment for this week away from my family. It's a short-term investment, very short-term. 7 days is not a long time. But I was letting myself get caught up in the temporary emotions and the pain. Again, relying on emotions, right? So I was relying on my emotions and getting caught up in that temporary pain. I had to tell myself this is a temporary investment for a long-term result. Because again, the week I can put into this is going to help snowball effect what the future brings. So I can have more days off with them, so I can financially take them on trips, so we can become debt-free and hit all these goals that right up here on my vision board. That's when the sacrifice started to really settle in. And so throughout this whole time, I've been able to text with them, because that's kind of the only cell phone reception they have. Earlier today, Trista sends me another text. She says, "Hey, I found a reception spot." And I get an incoming call. And this is what I get to see right here. Those faces, and I can't even tell you how hard that was, because it was another reminder of I'm here and I'm not with them. Especially knowing they're in a different state, that makes it 10 times harder. They're not just down the road. They're not just over at someone else's house. They're 14 hours away. I cannot see them if I wanted to. That was a reminder, and all day it's been on my mind, which is why I wanted to do this Periscope. All day it's been on my mind. I hear so many damn excuses from people, whether they be customers and clients, people I just know, people that show up to my boot camps, coaches, all these kind of people, right? Family members, friends. They think they're putting in the work. They think they're doing okay. Week after week and month after month, they come back with the same freaking excuses. They come back with the same, "I don't know why my business isn't growing. I don't know why I'm not losing weight." They come back with all of these issues. And it was in this moment that I saw those two faces on FaceTime earlier that it all dawned on me at one time. And it came down to one question that I wish I could ask every one of those people that comes to me with those excuses. Are you making sacrifices? Because if you are only trying to show up and work out and eat right and build a business and do all these things that you're trying to do, are you only showing up when you feel like it? Or are you really making sacrifices? Are you waking up early, even if you do not like being a morning person? Are you showing up, picking up the phone, sending out the messages, and inviting those prospects to join your business, to join challenge packs and all this kind of Beachbody stuff we do? Are you staying up late? Are you taking time away from other things that maybe you should not be spending as much time on because you set a goal? It's that sacrifice that makes the difference, guys. That sacrifice does not happen until you accept responsibility. You have to be personally responsible for your own actions and lack thereof. Because it's the people that keep coming back with excuses and complaints on why their business isn't growing, why they're not losing weight, why they're at a plateau, blah, 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 blah. I've had people that come to me and they say, "Chaz, I finished my 21-day fix," which is a workout program that we offer, and nutrition plan. I get people who are like, "Chaz, I did 21-day fix and it didn't work." And usually my attitude is, "Okay, no problem. Let's kind of see what happened. Tell me about the journey. What happened week 1, 2, etc." "Oh yeah, week 1 was great. Week 2, I had this little family outing thing, and we ate some bad food for a day, but it was fine. And then the next day I had a little bit of leftovers, but I got back on it. Oh, and then there was this thing in the third week where I missed like 3 or 4 workouts, but it's no biggie." It all comes back to that sacrifice. If you did not get the result you were looking for out of something, it's because you did not make the sacrifices. Programs and businesses work if you show up with 100% all-in commitment. There can be no ifs, ands, or buts. If you commit to something, you are all in. You do not tweak it, you do not modify it, you go all in with it. And if you make the sacrifices and you stay consistent, it will work. It's just like with our Beachbody business. We have what we call the 3 vital behaviors. Number 1, you be proof that the products work, which means you need to be doing a program, right? Stop trying to sell programs when you're not on one yourself. That's bullshit. Show up and be proof that the product works. Lead by example. Number 2 is read personal development. Grow this thing more than anything. Number 3 is invite 2 people a day to join you, whether it be your challenge groups, the challenge packs as a regular customer, or if it be the business. 3 simple things to do every single day. And I can't tell you how many people show up after months or even years of struggling, and they come back and say, Chaz, this isn't working, what's going on? And now I could just simply ask, are you making the sacrifices? Like, seriously, are you making those sacrifices? Because I just had to FaceTime with my family after not seeing them for 3 days when I could be there right now. That's the thing that kills me most, is I can easily have gone. I could have hit pause on my whole week and went on that trip. But I would have broken my commitment to my team, to my clients, to my coaches, and to myself. Because for the month of August, I committed to a certain thing, and that is to go all in. And it's, it sounds silly, but it's all in with Periscope, it's all in with my team, it's all in with my coaching group, my customers, my clients, all in. Blocked off the month of August. I am MIA from anything else but this right here. That's the sacrifice I made. So when I hear people come up and say, oh, I didn't lose X amount of weight, the program didn't work, I call bullshit on it. It didn't work because you didn't show up. You were not consistent. You did not make sacrifices. You did not show up to your commitment. You gave your word to yourself that you were going to do this, and you quit. That's what that comes down to. And just like Eric Thomas says, if you do something and you truly want it, guys, whether it be lose 50 pounds or build your Beachbody business, whatever you want, you have to want this shit as much as you want to breathe. And that sounds like such a cheesy saying, but today was one of those days where it hit me hard after I had to FaceTime with my family. That's when I had that moment of I sat back and went, that's how much I want this, because I made that sacrifice to be away from them. And for some people watching this video, it might not make any sense. And that's perfectly fine. This video is not for you. But for some people, you get it. Either that or you've been making excuses. You have not been making those sacrifices. The sacrifice I made to be away from them when they're 14 hours away, do you know how much it kills me knowing that Trista had to take care of him alone throughout this whole trip, when I usually step up, and we go 50-50. I step up because that's what a husband should do. That's what a father should do. We should step up and help. So it kills me knowing that she gets no help from me this week. That part kills me. But at the same time, that shows the level of commitment that I made to this. So if you have a plan B, if you're just hoping this whole thing works, whatever your goal is, if you just kind of hope it happens, it's not. You will fail, and you will fail hard, and you will be the one that keeps coming back with excuses. If you make the sacrifices and you stay committed and stay consistent, it will happen. But the sacrifices, they're going to be tough. For some of you, tough means you have to wake up early. So if you've been sleeping in until 8, 9, 10 o'clock, you can't do that shit anymore. Set an alarm for 6 a.m. and when you wake up, know that it's going to take every ounce of your being to get up out of bed. Everything inside of you is going to say, no, it's so comfortable, stay here, hit snooze, change the alarm for 30 minutes later. Everything inside of you is going to say that. But it's your sacrifice and your commitment to it that's going to reach over, turn off the alarm, sit up, and get up. Your sacrifice is going to show your commitment level, especially when it comes to waking up early, because that's the one thing that most of us struggle with. I struggle with it still. But I show up and I get up. I work for myself. I have no boss. Why in the world did I get up at 5:30 this morning? Because I committed to this journey. I committed to this business, my team, myself. I'm going to show up and do the work. So getting towards the end of this message, right? If you guys are still hanging in with me, one thing to ask yourself, and it's going to feel weird and awkward, but do it. Go to your mirror, look yourself dead in the eye, think about where you are right now. Your health, if you're a Beachbody coach, your business, your finances, even if you're at a regular job, think about the same thing too. So think about your job, your business, your career, your health, your fitness, your nutrition. Think about how you look. Think about how you feel. Think about how your mind works. Are you a negative person? Are you a positive person? Think about all these things, your relationships, all of it. And ask yourself, am I happy? Like, seriously, am I actually happy with where I am at in life right now? Am I happy with the path I'm on? Because this path is going to lead in the same direction it's going. Are you happy with which path you are on right now? And if you're not, if you answer yes, you're completely happy with where you're at, awesome. Keep going. If you are not happy with where you're at in any of those areas, make a decision right now that you are going to start making sacrifices to change it. Because I believe that, again, this is a topic that I think is overlooked and a lot of people don't talk about. A lot of people who have success, a lot of people don't talk about the sacrifices that it takes to get there. It's going to take early mornings. It's going to take late nights. It's going to take being away from your family like I am right now. They're 14 hours away and I can't do anything about it. But I made that decision. I made that choice to stay behind so that I can be here to build my business, to be here for my team, for my clients, to do these Periscopes, to give my message out. Because I know there's somebody out there who's listening to this that needs it. If I was in Idaho right now with them, I wouldn't be right here with you guys. I would not be sharing this message. There's one person out there that's listening to this that's going, yep. So when it comes down to the whole looking yourself in the mirror, ask yourself if you're happy thing, it's going to take sacrifice to make changes. Because if you're on a shitty path right now and you're not happy with your situation, guess what? It is not getting any better where you're going. That's one of my biggest pet peeves is somebody who comes to me and says, I would love to have you as my coach and to start your program and to do all of this, but my situation is holding me back. Your mindset is what's holding you back. If you are on a crappy path, it's not getting any better where you're going. It's getting worse. Just like Eric Thomas talks about, one of my favorite speakers. There's no such thing as the perfect moment. You have to create the perfect moment by starting now. And starting now is different for everybody. For some of you, it's a weight loss program. Even if it's not a program or product, if you need to lose weight and get healthy, take that shit seriously because your life literally depends on it. If you have a business idea or you want to start with our coaching team in the Beachbody world, whatever your goal is, you cannot keep putting it off. You need to make the decision to start and fully accept that you're going to make sacrifices. All of this stems back to sacrifices. Because that sacrifice, again, guys, that moment right there, those two are 14 hours away from me, and I chose to stay behind. That was a decision. That was on me. It's one of the biggest sacrifices I made. I did it because I'm staying committed to my path, to my journey. And part of that is striking when the iron is hot. The iron was really hot this week, and I had to make that tough decision to stay behind and not be with them right now. So I can be here and share my message. So I can be here and lift that one person up that needs lifted up. And I'll end with this. It's easy to be at the bottom, right? We're all looking at this mountaintop of success. success is different to everybody, but it's all the same mountain. So for some of you, it's financial. Some of you, it's to build time freedom. Some of you, it's different areas. But it's all the same mountain. We're all looking up at the same mountain. The bottom, it's easy to stay there because it doesn't require any sacrifice. It doesn't require hard work. It doesn't require tears and sweat and blood that goes into this shit. It's easy to stay there. But here's the thing, it's overcrowded. It is extremely overcrowded with negativity, with limiting beliefs, with comfort zones, all this kind of stuff. It's overcrowded. You deserve more out of life, and you deserve to be more. It only happens if you make the decision to start. Again, that can be in business, starting a weight loss program, whatever your goal is. It makes a decision to start, and it makes a secondary decision that you're going to embrace those sacrifices. They're going to hurt. They're going to be painful. When I had to FaceTime with those two today, I love seeing them, but it's almost like I would rather not have seen you guys all week because that pain came back up. That pain that I had 3 days ago when I had to kiss them both goodbye came back up. I was so focused and busy on my business and all this stuff I'm working on this week that it's like that pain kind of got settled down, right? Because my mind's on other places. And all of a sudden they both pop up on a screen in front of me live, and I'm talking to both of them. And seeing my little man Tice smile at me when he heard my voice, that brings the pain back, guys. That pain is part of the sacrifice. If you're not on that level of pain and sacrifice, you're not putting in enough work. So if you're building a business, if you're trying to lose weight, get in shape, get healthy, change your life, it's going to be painful. As crazy as it sounds, you learn to embrace it because you know you're on the right path. You know you're out of your comfort zone when you have to deal with that pain. But that pain is either going to drive you to go back into old habits because it's nice and cozy there and you don't have to feel pain, or that pain is going to drive you to do more and be more in life, to chase those dreams, to accomplish those goals, to put in the work so you can take those baby steps up that freaking mountain that we're looking at. Because as you get over these hurdles, over that mountain, those painful hurdles, all of a sudden you look back and go, oh shit, that's an awesome view. Okay, that was worth it. What's next? You start looking up a little bit higher and a little bit higher, and that's how you get successful in life with whatever your goal is. So I'll end with this. If you need help, I offer a business opportunity. I offer the at-home solution for fitness, mindset, motivation, all that kind of stuff. Reach out to me. If you've stuck around with me and listened to me this whole time, you can see I'm not a salesman. I'm not going to shove product down your throat. I'm going to get to know you. I'm going to find out about your goals. I'm going to see what we can do to get those first few steps up that mountain going. But do not waste your time and do not waste my time, because my time goes to those two. Do not waste my time if you're going to make excuses, and if you're not going to make the honest decision that you're going all in with those lifestyle changes. Because I've been a coach for 6 years, and in 6 years, I have maybe a handful, tops, a handful of clients that have started with me and stuck with me. Because most of them quit. Because they hit a little bit of a rough patch, and they don't make sacrifices. Those who do not make sacrifices will eventually fall off the face of the earth. They quit. Never hear from them again. I reach out. I see that they read it, right? We all see that people read stuff on Facebook. I see that they read the message, but they quit. They gave up. They lost it. They were not willing to put in the sacrifices. So if you are willing and ready to put in that sacrifice, I would love to get on the phone with you. I would love to chat with you, get to know you a bit, see how we can at best help you get to where you want to be in life. You can reach out to me at facebook.com/betterlife90. Go to my Periscope channel. You can follow this if you want to hear more broadcasts. You can reach out to me on my Facebook. The link is in there. Hell, you can even get my cell phone number. Cell phone number, guys. That's what I'm offering pretty much anybody. My name is Charles Leslie. I'm here for you guys. I love you guys. I appreciate you hopping on here. sharing a little bit of personal story about those sacrifices I'm making this week so that I can best serve you. And that's the other thing too, is you have to have a servant's heart to be successful. I have not heard one success story of somebody that was selfish, somebody that was driven by money, somebody that did not have a servant's heart. You have to be ready to change yourself, but also to help other people along the way, because as you change and grow and become better in life, you're going to want to spread that love and to help other people around you. That's what this whole journey is about, guys. Doing more and becoming more in life and helping others along the way. That right there is a good life to me. This has been Coach Shaz. Again, facebook.com/betterlife90 if you want to connect there. Peace out, crew. I'll see you later.